Full disclosure, news and commentary number 88, 88, 88, 88, 88, hey, 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 hey. Yeah, baby. Full disclosure number 88. Dude, news. What's our commentary about? Our commentary is about, we're in December, and we're not going to take nominations and stuff. We're going to let this year play out. 2020, we're going to let this year play out, and then we're going to get to the awards. But here's some tips, because people seem very keen on the notion of winning awards. I think that's great. I'm going to give you motherfucking tips on how you can get your name out there, how you can get a scene, how you can get the right things in the mix in people's minds and with the people who put this shit out there, like me. On how you can get a leg up on the motherfucking awards, because we got a lot to talk about. But we got to thank these people, these motherfuckers like Dee and Dan and Diana and Brian and Justin and Brett and Larry, not that one, but the other one, Rob Rod, the OGs, Eric and Myron, and all the other motherfuckers that have joined up. I appreciate you. I've been putting out Patreon videos like a motherfucker. I put another one out yesterday that I couldn't upload until I left the bowling alley because that Wi-Fi was slow as shit. We got an unboxing. I have to put these big notes in my thing now. Let's just see it. It's like, unboxing. Like, don't forget dumb shit. I certainly appreciate it, especially during the holiday season. Again, you know, we're having the unofficial contest of, I got the freaking best fucking unboxing gifts for Christmas. I mean, when someone gave me a green jacket, what can I say? That was fucking dope as hell. And you would shit twice and die if you knew who gave it to me. Maybe I'll put that in a Patreon video. Pretty nuts. But I got this in my P.O. box, and it's unusual. It's not a t-shirt. So I'm curious to see what it is. Let's see. Doing a bad job of opening this. You may hear music in the background because there's somebody that can join the hot tub listening to music, and I ain't mad at them. Good for them. Oh my God, Steve, open up the freaking weak as hell. I need to get my workout in today, clearly. I have not done that yet. Normally I take care of that in the morning, but it's just been busy, go, go, go. You probably noticed I've already put out 2 freaking videos and that kind of thing. You motherfuckers. I gotta get it out of the sun so you can see it. Wireless earbuds with power bank. Thank you. I noted in a video before, like, how I have to still use the wire, but with my phone case I can't. And so somebody responds by sending me these. Dude, that's so boss. Works with smartphones, tablets, and PC. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I don't know how expensive these are, but I imagine they aren't cheap. They look fucking boss and top of the line. Dude. You know, sometimes I do feel, I'll just be honest about this shit. I do feel like people don't appreciate the work entirely. That people get caught up in you know, discussing wrestling and that kind of thing, and don't understand fully. Everybody feels underappreciated. I get that. I'm just saying from the perspective of, like, guys like Rob Rod or the Tapped Out guys or Larry. You know, it's no secret that I'm a big fan of Larry Goodman, and I worked really hard to make sure that he was nominated in people's mind's eye. By the way, that commentary is going to be important because I'm going to teach you these kind of fucking things, right? But, like, I wanted Larry to get his due. And it's because the work is so important. And, you know, Gary Lamb put up that post about, it's great, people are talking about us. Steve put out a video about our tournament. Rob Rod did predictions and, you know, odds. And so did the Tapped Out guys. Yes. Right? And that shit's really important. And I feel like behind the scenes, I hook up a lot of people. I hook them up with information about, you know, advice of who they could use, all this kind of stuff, right? And I feel like I don't get credit for that shit nearly enough. But I also understand. Yeah. But stuff like this like means people are listening to the videos, and somebody went out of their way to do that. Please take credit for me. Please let me know who you are. It just means a lot to me. Just on a personal tip, December is going to be tough. But January, there's great news on the horizon. I'll just leave it at that. You know, the old cliche of I don't want to jinx it, but more than that, like, so just even something small like this, believe I'm going to use the shit out of it, and I'm thrilled to have it. Wow. Fucking thank you. GIPW from the Thirsty Turtle. Great name for a venue. It happened on Sunday, but they didn't send a report in, so I don't know shit about it, but I thought I would note it. I want to talk about Southern Fried in a little bit. So I'll talk about what's happening this weekend. So Southern Honor, obviously, is happening this weekend. So is Heritage. I'm going to be at Southern Honor. Yes, I'm really going to be there. People have been asking me, are you really going to be in Georgia? Are you really going to be in Georgia? I'm going to be in Georgia. And I'm going to Southern Honor. That's the only thing I know that I'm going for sure. I want to do something Saturday night, but it may just be a matter of gathering together with people and whatever. I would have gone to WrestleMerica, but that's happening Sunday afternoon. I would go to Southern Violence, but I'm not so sure that the people that I have to see, or in my mind have to see, are down. So we'll see what's going on. The one thing I know for sure is I'm going to be hosted very congenially by Southern Honor, and I'm really looking forward to that. I'm just going to have a fucking ball. Will you get a report out of it? Probably, or some kind of article inspired at the very least. I'm looking forward to, I mean, I know I've been around Rob Rod before, but I don't think we've ever had like a formal conversation. So I'm looking forward to that. And hopefully the Tapped Out guys, maybe Myron can't be there, but hopefully Nick will be there, or whatever the fuck case may be. And the assorted crazy people at Southern Honor. I'm going to be running around. You'll fucking recognize me. Fucking come up and say hi, whoever the fuck you are, and I will say hi to you, but I will be masked the fuck up. Believe that shit. I didn't go through all of this shit over the past 9 months to get fucking COVID now. It ain't gonna happen. I'm gonna do my level best to make sure of that. Yeah, APW drew 57, and I wrote this big word here, honesty. You know, obviously when APW first came back, people were super excited, even though it was a regular show. It drew more than 100 than the last time they drew in the upper 70s, lower 80s. This time they got 57, and you know what they did? They counted every fucking soul that was there watching the show, and they let us know that number. Fucking respect. Mad respect for APW. And I'm going to go to this before I talk about Southern Fried and Pro South. Jimmy Ox. Ryan set up a really great GoFundMe for him. Again, you know, as a general rule, the GoFundMe thing, I tend to be suspicious of, but not when it's Jimmy fucking Ox. I'm going to put the link below, if I remember, and go give. He's almost there. $1,000 was the goal. Very modest. Obviously, this isn't something Jimmy Ox is looking to get rich off of. This is to help this motherfucker, who, I will say this, there is not a single solitary person in Georgia wrestling who has not benefited from Jimmy Ox in a very direct fashion. Period. And if you want to argue with me about that, you're fucking wrong. Go fucking drop some money to this GoFundMe. Let's get him over the $1,000 by fucking today. Cool? Thank you. And it's one of those rare times where I looked at the list of who had donated, and there's a couple people on there that I wouldn't fucking piss on if they were on fire, unless my piss had alcohol in it so they would light a flame even more. But they donated, and I respect them for it, and I would heartily encourage you to do the motherfucking same. All right, Jimmy Ox, baby. Love that dude. Love that dude. It's weird to think like around this time last year, Jimmy Ox and I were on the phone because I was driving through the Carolinas to get to D.C. to see my sister's family and my mom, and And so last I had heard, Jimmy Ox was around the parts where I was. So I called, but it turns out he wasn't. He was back in Georgia. But we had a couple of great conversations. Man, let me tell you something, man. Stephen Platinum, man, you got people all stirred up, man. Fucking love Jimmy. Best Jimmy Ox impersonation? I argue it's Matt Hankins. If you believe you got a better one, fucking let me know. Fucking Jimmy Ox. Love that dude, man. Pro South, I'll just say this bluntly. Pro South with their last show and the fact that they've got a big show of the year coming up on December 18th. They're finally back. They feel like they're 100% on track, which is great, because then there's a 3-way motherfucking race for Booker. They're a big part of all the guys that are going to be up for fucking Most Improved, and hell, if that December 18th show is fucking gangbusters, they might get some votes for fucking show of the year. It's fucking exciting. I'm glad to see Pro South really in that mix, especially because Peach State, which isn't like the same owners or anything, but it feels like a kind of a sister show to Pro South, having to cancel really sucks for them. So I'm glad that Pro South is still around and giving guys a place to work and doing shows every week, and that the show itself is fucking good. Great timing. Let's talk about Southern Fried. So the mundane is they drew about 100. They're in the Landmark. But not only the people that you would expect to contact me to tell me shit was great. There were 2 people I've never heard from before. I don't even know who the fuck they are. I'm guessing they're wrestling fans. But encouraging me, when you can see this thing, watch it. Now, I was going to watch the show on the live feed. And I saw the Tyler Culprit match with Ashton Starr, the ladder match, which I thought was very good. And then the shit phased out on me, or fizzled out, or whatever the fuck the problem was. I don't know if the Wi-Fi. I don't know if Rick or whoever needs to get the gerbils running faster to make the fucking generator work to get that Wi-Fi going. What the fuck the problem was. But it didn't work at that point. I said, fuck you. And then so I only knew happenstance about what happened. Okay, I saw that, Judas couldn't be there, and this seemed like shitty booking to me. I'm just being honest. This was my impressions based on pictures and things that I had heard about the show. But then people started telling me how fucking great it was. And then people started saying, man, you got to watch the fucking main event with fucking Griff Garrison and goddamn Corey Hollis. It's fucking brilliant. And these are the adjustments that had to be made because of this, that, and the other. And then I read that motherfucking report. How important are the fucking reports, guys? They're incredibly important. And once I read that, I went, okay, I'm going to go out of my way to watch that. I'm going to comment on that in the commentary. Let's just get into the motherfucking commentary. Okay, it's award seasons, motherfuckers. And this year, no excuses. We're going to the end of the year, which means a lot of shows that get overlooked and a lot of promotions that are going to get, that normally would have gotten overlooked. Normally, keep in mind, we would already be in the nomination process, and then the voting would commence so that we could do the fucking awards show at the first fucking Tuesday of the year. Right? But instead, we're not even talking about the nomination process, me and the committee, that is. We're going to let this year play out, and then we're going to get shit going. By the way, one of the things that I'm doing over the weekend is, I can't let too big of a cat out of the bag, but I may have come up with an alternate idea for the trophies that's even more badass than having trophies in the first place, and having trophies that are about fucking pro wrestling on top of that. I think I thought of something that was even cooler than that. I'm going to see if I can get that motherfucking going this weekend while I'm in Georgia. Badass. Okay. So if Griff Garrison and Corey Hollis is all that, and I believe that it is, and people want me to watch it, what would it behoove them to do? Get me that fucking match. Now, from what I heard, word on the motherfucking curb is that Larry Goodman was given access to the match. That's smart. But if you're going to give it to Larry Goodman, give it to me too. There's an art to getting yourself into the nomination process. I'm just going to talk about little anecdotal things from years past and things that I've observed, because they're great examples of how to inception ideas into the public consciousness. This isn't about tricking people, but if you haven't figured out in this world that life is about sales, then I'm telling you now, everything is sales. It's just how good of a salesman you are and how conscious you are of doing it. That's the only difference. But everybody's selling. On a call, every call, a sale is made. Either you're selling to him or he's selling you on a reason that he can't buy. But on every call, someone's closing. Is it going to be you or them? Hey, Boiler Room, Ben Affleck. It's fucking true. Technical wrestler last year. We were looking at the usual suspects, right? The Kyle Matthews and the Slim Jays and the Corey Hollises. But Corey doesn't really wrestle a technical style because he's a great heel and la 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 la. Then Gary Lamb puts out a message. You know, for my money, I think all these nominees that they're talking about are pretty good, but I want to put in Joe Black for technical because I think, and I didn't even care what Gary Lamb said at that point. He put the idea out there, which got people talking about it, which more importantly, got people like me talking about it. And then it got it done. And it's not that anybody was tricked. It's just that the very idea had escaped most people's minds. And Gary knew you don't ask, you don't get. And so him putting it out there was the seed that made it happen. But Joe Black's the one who did the work. Absolutely. But if you guys haven't figured out that it's about selling and it's about promoting yourself, I don't know what is. When you look at the three guys who are going to be for most improved, and again, I know people want to fucking argue. Okay, go ahead and argue. Go ahead and tell me how it's not going to be Tyler Culprit, Austin Towers, and Hold My Beer Hansen. How those aren't the three fucking nominees in no particular order. It is them. Now you're going to say, well, so-and-so really improved and so-and-so's done a great job, and I'm sure you're fucking right. But those three guys have been the most visible. And that shit counts. Shit absolutely counts. Though guess what? Somebody put a name in my head yesterday that I hadn't considered. And now I'm going to say it. And as soon as I say this name, all of a sudden, this inevitable thing that I just talked about, Austin Towers, Hold My Beer Hansen, Tyler Culprit, as soon as I say this person's name, they're all of a sudden they're going to jump into that group in your mind. Ben Buchanan. Now that I've said Ben Buchanan, now you go, oh shit. And out of that 4, how do you whittle that down to 3? Now you see how competitive that fucking award is. But I hadn't even considered Ben Buchanan until it was brought up to me, and now I'm thinking about it. If you want me to fucking start thinking about somebody for match of the year and using this forum to talk about that shit, because you know I don't hold back. I've got tipping points. I've got these videos. I'm going to talk my shit. I'm going to speak my shit. If you can get the ideas in my head, then for God's sakes, fucking send me motherfucking footage. If what you wanted, the people who contacted me, was to me to purport that Griff Garrison against Corey Hollis could be a match of the year thing, that the show was super red hot because I could tell from the crowd, and that it was booked fucking brilliantly, then for fuck's sake, give me some fucking footage so I can talk about it here. Yeah, I can talk about it later, but it won't be as hot as if you get me that shit as soon as possible. Yes, you can get your show report in days later, but Southern Fried, one smart thing they did was they got that show report in right away so I could fucking talk about at least some aspects of it. Because in my mind, just looking at anecdotal things and fucking side things and this picture of that, and you can ask motherfuckers. In this one text group or message group, I was like, I don't know, this show doesn't seem that fucking great to me. But now that I read the show report, oh, maybe it was that great. And a number of people have come to me, it was that great. Imagine how much more powerful it would have been if I had something to specifically talk about right now based on what I said. Imagine if right now I was going, folks, you need to see Corey Hollis versus fucking Griff Garrison when it comes out. This is match of the year type shit. So that's my advice. You got great matches. You got to start throwing them out there. What are you fucking waiting for? Throw them out there now. Stuff needs time to gestate. Don't wait until we're fucking taking the nominations on January, beginning of January. Because then you're just one of the masses. You want this feeling. going into it. It's like an election. Election decisions aren't made. Let me just say it like this. Trump, Biden, whatever the fuck. You know who's most unbelievable to me? Undecideds a week before election day. Who the fuck are these fucking people? I'll tell you the truth. They don't exist. Not really. People, by the time they fucking vote, second week of January or whenever it's going to be, they will have already made up their minds. So the time to start campaigning and putting ideas in people's head is now. And that not only applies for the Georgia Wrestling History Awards, that applies to life. The time to make the right impressions is now. And it's on social media as well. I'm going to meet a bunch of people at Southern Honor. I like her talking in the background. I'm going to meet a bunch of people at Southern Honor who I've never met face to face before. And I may alter my opinions on people based on finally meeting them. Chances are I'll have a much more favorable response because that's the kind of dude I am too. Fucking face to face, blah, blah, blah. Right? But the simple fact is there's already a lens that's been created based on what I've seen people on social media and et cetera, contact that I've already had with them. That shit applies doubly for the awards. In our minds, we already know. I think people generally have a general idea of who they think the three people are for each category. So what's the job of Southern Honor? What's the job of Pro South? What's the job of all these other promotions? Start inceptioning us like a motherfucker. Start putting some shit out there. I saw that Joe Black promo about Ace Haven. And they weren't promoting it as such. But you know what I did? I fucking told fucking the tastemakers, these motherfuckers that I chat with, fucking go find that shit and watch. I didn't even put a link. I just said, go find that shit. And every one of them came back. Holy shit. So you know who the leading contender for promo of the year is? Motherfucking Joe Black and that promo he cut on Ace. You know who's the close second maybe? The other motherfucking Joe Black promo. You motherfuckers who talking about I'm cutting these great promos, you better put them out there. You better recognize. Because now is the time. Winning time is now. This has been Full Disclosure.